Hi there. Let's talk a little bit about counting t-shirts. T-shirts are like human upper body garments that the sleeves don't extend past the elbow. Now, most people, if they had, let's say, 8 t-shirts in front of them, they would count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? That whole, it's inefficient, you know? And when it comes to t-shirt counting, efficiency is what will get you that kind of boost over your competitors when it comes to the workplace, when it comes to practical applications, and efficiency in your day-to-day life. Well, first of all, I think in marketability, obviously, depending on what kind of career you're going into, uh, but let's say you're working at a department store, and there's a lot of T-shirts, and they have to do inventory, right? That could be something that could excel you to a manager position because of your inventorying abilities. And similarly, if maybe you work at a laundromat, or you're a stay-at-home or a lady or a man, either. What comes to mind first is the basic strategy that I think most of us learn when we're younger, and that's just kind of to count straight from zero all the way to how many you might have, right? So let's say you have a certain number of t-shirts and you don't know how many they are, and you're counting them. You might go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's 6 t-shirts, and that's like the basic way of thinking about it. And that was what we in the industry would call a non-terminal t-shirt tallying tactic, and it's non-optimal. So let's talk about ways you can optimize this with minimal effort. And I think there's an important factor you have to understand when it comes to t-shirt counting, like the process of it, and that's your t-shirt ratio. And I think in more scientific terms, you would say it's how many t-shirts you have per t-shirt. And kind of a way you can think about this is non-terminal t-shirt tallying tactic. You have a t-shirt ratio of 1, right? Because for every t-shirt you counted 1 t-shirt. But you could also, well, okay, let's say that you want to count your t-shirts twice as fast. Well, if you modulate your t-shirt ratio by increasing it to 2, you're actually counting 2 t-shirts for every t-shirt that you count. And so what you can do there is, let's say you have some number of t-shirts and you don't know how many it is. Well, you can make little piles, and each pile has 2 t-shirts. And you don't even need to count the 2. You just grab one in each hand. You know it's going to be 2 if you have 2 hands, assuming you're a person with 2 hands. And so, you know, you could count these piles of 2 t-shirts, and then at the end, knowing what your t-shirt ratio is, you can multiply it by 2 to get back to the real numbers. So let's say I have some number of t-shirts and I'm having a hard time counting them. I can't tell how many there are. And so I make a few piles of t-shirts, and each pile has 2 t-shirts in it. And I look and I look at how many piles I have, and I'm like 1, 2, 3. Then in my head I multiply that by 2. I'm like, okay, I had 6 t-shirts. And that's so much faster than counting 1, 2, 3, 4, all that nonsense. It just takes forever. And so that's kind of the basic. I would say that's like an intermediate, maybe even like beginner intermediate level t-shirt tallying tactic. Um, and I think that there's a lot of people get caught up with the meta with this, and they don't focus on just the experience. I want to teach you guys my personal favorite, most optimal t-shirt tallying tactic, and I think that it's something that you could just work towards. And even if you can't, even if you stick with just a basic modulation of your t-shirt ratio, your t-shirts per t-shirt, I think that that is still going to give you a huge benefit in your day-to-day when it comes to, and it's going to give you a huge boost and give you the benefit, the advantage over people you might be competing with in your field. So my t-shirt tallying tactic is that I actually take I take groups of 5, right? And so like my optimal t-shirt counting strategy is I'm actually counting 5 t-shirts per t-shirt. That's the t-shirt ratio that I'm operating at. And by modulating your t-shirt ratio, you can increase the efficiency at which you can count t-shirts. You know, my strategy is I'm going to make groups of 5 t-shirts. That's why I have a t-shirt ratio of 5, because I'm counting 5 t-shirts per t-shirt. Although you might argue I'm counting 0.20 t-shirts per t-shirt, but if you do the math out, it's actually just a matter of notation. And so I'm doing 5 t-shirts per t-shirt. I'm making groups of 5 t-shirts. I know each group has 5 in it, so I can just count the groups. And if I count 2 groups at a time, I know that I'm really counting tens. And so if I have 33 t-shirts, I'm going to put them into groups of 5 first, and I'm going to see I have 6 groups of 5, and then 3 extra t-shirts. And I'm going to be able to count 2, 2, 1, that's, 10 plus 10 plus 5, wait, 2, 2, 2, that's 10 plus 10 plus 10, that's 30, and then there's 3 over here. I have 6 groups of 5 t-shirts, yeah. This kind of thing, it can... Getting really good at counting t-shirts, it can be good for you. It can save you time in your day-to-day life. It can give you a boost of confidence and efficiency at the workplace. It can streamline your day-to-day tasks. Other people aren't practicing this skill. It's gonna give you a one-up. You're a go-getter. You're an alpha. You're on top of things. You're beautiful. Ready to watch this? 1. Ooh! Saw how fast I counted those t-shirts? Yeah. I know what you're thinking right now. You're right.